Ladies and gentlemen, please stand and join Libertyville High School's choral director, Dr. Jeff Brown, in singing America the Beautiful.
Skies, for amber waves of grain, for purple mountain majesties above the fruited plain. America, America, God shed his grace on thee. And
Please be seated. Good evening, honored guests and fellow graduates. I am Ramon Eyre.
I am Mary Kate Bookert, and we are the co-presidents of the class of 2018.
It is our privilege to welcome you to the Libertyville High School Class of 2018 commencement ceremony. Tonight, we proudly celebrate our achievements and fondly reflect on our experiences as Wildcats. Our time at LHS has been full of exciting memories, such as cheering on our very own classmate participating in the Olympics, watching the wonderful plays and musicals, and partaking in the assemblies put on by Student Council. We also cannot forget that one day in February when the majority of the senior class happened to be sick at the same time and same place. I don't think the administration realized that sick in bed meant celebrating responsibly at the Adler Sled Hill. Throughout the duration of our time at LHS, we have had some memorable experiences. And as we look toward the future, we should not forget these past 4 years because they have been formative in making us the strong-minded individuals we are today.
On behalf of all the graduates, I wish to thank those who join us here this evening. We are successful because of your continued support, and our accomplishments are made possible by your guidance and encouragement. Now, please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Please be seated. I'd like to introduce Choral Director Dr. Brown, as well as to invite all senior choir members to the stage. Thank you.
Thank you. As the choir seniors make their way to the stage, I wanted to highlight a few things for you, some of their accomplishments. We spent a wonderful year celebrating the centennial of our high school, the 100th year of our existence. We started that back in May with a wonderful combined music event. These guys have put in their heart and soul to our music program since coming into high school freshman year. We're so proud of them, and this is their last performance together. Thank you so much for being here. We will now share our national anthem.
So proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight, o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
You may be seated. Good evening. I am Tom Kalenis, the very proud principal of this incredible high school, and we have come to the part of our program this evening where I would like to recognize an honorary graduate who is a special member of the class of 2018. Maddie McInerney was a young lady known for her vibrant personality and positive energy. She was an LHS cheerleader and a true friend to many of our Wildcats. Unfortunately, during the fall of her freshman year, Maddie learned that she had brain cancer. Over the coming years, Maddie fought courageously, and though she never quit the fight, Maddie passed in the middle of her junior year. Now, I did not know Maddie personally, but I have heard so much about her from our students and our parents and our staff. First, I learned that she was amazing. Throughout her fight with cancer, Maddie was an inspiration to others and a beacon of optimism. Second, I learned how much Maddie valued her education, and she fought every day for the chance to be here tonight and graduate with her friends. Even a couple weeks before her passing, Maddie was meeting with tutors so she didn't fall behind in her schoolwork. Graduating from LHS was very important to her. And finally, I know that Maddie had a sincere wish that all of her Wildcat friends and family would also be amazing. One of her often used quotes was by Helen Keller, who said, "Walking with a friend in the dark is far less scary than walking alone in the light." Through this quote, Maddie became the embodiment of stand together because she knew there was strength in numbers. At tough times in life, Maddie would want you all to find someone to walk with. In the future, if you see someone who needs support, Maddie would tell you to walk with them. So Wildcats, though Maddie cannot be here in body, her family is here tonight and her spirit is here tonight. When we all leave here tonight, Maddie goes with us, reminding us to find someone to walk with and to always be amazing. At this time, I ask all members of our audience to please take a moment of silence in honor of Maddie McInerney. We can be a little louder for our fantastic Libertyville choir. Great work. I would like to introduce the first of our two senior graduation speakers. Coming to the podium, Mr. Chase Eyre.
$510 graduating seniors, 720 days of school, 100 years of Libertyville High School, 1 upcoming swimming pool, 0 parking spaces for underclassmen and a lot of seniors, 326 handshakes given by Dylan Seth on a daily basis, 1 good Dons until they ruined it, 3 perfect ACT scores, 26 student athletes playing sports in college, 1 phone exploding in the boys' bathroom, 2,249 screaming fans when Paisley and Fun Monkey would perform, 0 losses for the boys' soccer team. Well, we don't count that last game, sadly. 1 Allison Tong, who's just insanely good at everything. 2,853,000 minutes of Anton Alesna smiling, and still counting. 1 Olympian, and 4 awful years at Libertyville High School. Yes, you did hear me correctly. I said 4 awful years. Now, before you throw your caps at me, please just listen. Words and their meanings can change throughout time, and this evolution of words can sometimes be dramatic. When a word takes on a negative connotation over time, this is called pejoration. And the word awful has been pejorated to mean horrible in today's vocabulary. But years ago, the word awful actually meant awe-inspiring and worthy of respect. So, when I say awful years, I'm using awful in the original sense, meaning awe-inspiring. A recent study found that experiencing a sense of awe promotes altruism, loving kindness, and benevolent behavior. Simply put, those who feel awe connect with others. In Christopher Berglund's article on the power of awe, he said, awe serves a vital social function. By diminishing the emphasis on the individual self, awe may encourage people to forego strict self-interest to improve the welfare of others. When experiencing awe, you may not feel like you are at the center of the world anymore. This got me thinking about the true power of selflessness and how awfully awe-inspiring people can be when they serve others. Recently, I saw a video of 2 British brothers, Jonathan and Alistair Brownlee, who are triathletes. In 2016, Both brothers were running the final race in the Triathlon World Championships, with Jonathan in the lead and set to take first place. But with just 500 meters left, Jonathan began to show the effects of the heat, and he began to stagger. When his brother Alistair came around the curve and saw Jonathan about to collapse near the finish line, Alistair gave up his chance to overtake the lead. He stopped to help his brother, almost carrying him the last few meters, and then actually pushing him over the finish line ahead of himself. Alistair's selfless act is the reason that Jonathan finished that race. Clearly, this was a moment of true awfulness on Alistair's part. So, what awful, awe-inspiring things have been taking place these past 4 years at Libertyville High School? We've seen remarkable commitment during the holidays as we baked cookies, sold homemade soaps, and performed concerts to raise enough money so that hundreds of Wish families could have Christmas gifts. We've seen Manny in the lunchroom, DJ in the halls, and Diane in the dill, always smiling, no matter the occasion. We've seen our peers stand up for causes that they believe in, whether it was the recent walkout to raise awareness about violence, or simply wearing shirts that read, "Spread the word to end the word." We've seen Matthew Rudolphi help raise thousands of dollars for pediatric cancer research. We've seen, yeah, I agree with it, yeah. We've seen the entire community rally behind those affected by the devastating deaths of 2 LHS students in one solemn week. And not long after, we lost the vibrant Maddie McInerney. Though they are gone, they will always stay with us in our hearts. We've seen Dr. Colentes come in as the new principal, ready to connect with the students as he walks out of his office during passing periods to shake our hands, ask our names, and listen to our ideas. Libertyville graduates, we will have many opportunities to serve and even help others who are falling. And sometimes that will require a great sacrifice on our part. I have no doubt there will be times in our own race in life when we will need to decide whether to stop and help someone or simply run past them in order to get ahead. Our high school diplomas should stand as a reminder of what we should do. Where much is given, much is required. And let's not forget to express appreciation to those around us who have helped us along the way. Counselors, teachers, parents, we all thank you. As we have so frequently been awe-inspired, let us now go forth and inspire awe in others, whether that be in the workforce, college, the military, or in raising our own families. The world is in need of Libertyville alums who will inspire. These past 4 years at LHS have been filled with many great examples of people who sacrificed for the good of someone else. May we carry these awful, awful memories with us as we go forward to serve the world. Thank you, and congratulations, class of 2018. It is now my pleasure to introduce my fellow graduate, Madden Herberger.
I believe that in every one of us, we are the shell of a nautilus. Yes, inside is a little sea creature, no bigger than 10 inches, but crack open its shell, and there you see a spiral of walls. As the shell gets bigger, more of those walls are being created, thus adding to the seeming never-ending pit. From the poem, The Chambered Nautilus, written by Oliver Holmes, it is the symbol of life. The shell is our outermost layer, the walls being all the memories we've had, and the spiral representing the person's life itself. As we grow older, as we become more independent, we close the walls behind us and start a new chapter, reforming ourselves into the person we wish to become. Nautilus. It is the word on the side of the yearbook given to us each year. As you open the book, you are now able to unlock the memories of the past. Freshman, sophomore, and junior year are all walls that have been closed up and we cannot go back. As we look through the yearbook, what we can do is analyze the school culture that influenced us, the lives we all lived, and all the amazing people we met through Libertyville High School. 4 years in the making, we are the proud senior class of 2018. I remember freshman year as clear as yesterday. As I walked up to the front of the doors of the school, I noticed some seniors in a pack like wolves, all of them covered in paint, silly string, and glitter was something I could only imagine becoming. As I opened the doors, I expected it to be the scene of a movie where freshmen would get shoved into lockers, but after the first day, I realized how wrong I was. You see, I was the person in kindergarten that was nonverbal. I thought that people would bully me for my gender identity, which is something that I have been struggling with. I thought people would be slurring homophobic and transphobic phrases like some in the movies, but no, this wasn't a movie. These were real people treating each other with respect. Ever since that first day, I have changed myself into the person you see today. This is me. Freshman, sophomore, and junior year are all closed up from our past. All of the memories from the school will be forever locked inside our hearts. Not just all the clubs, the sports, and the plays the school had to offer, but also all of the messages the school had about love. Libertyville will be the school to remember, where people of all sorts of religions, gender identities, and sexual orientations stand together holding hands, chanting, "Hate has no home here." As our time comes to a close, we will eventually complete our Nautilus titling senior year. As we all take the stage, grab our diplomas, and walk on out of this building, most of you are probably thinking one thing: I am finally done. But keep this in mind. When you walk on out of here to start your new chapter as young, amazing people, many walls will close at once, for your life will soon begin to start. You will be able to start forming your identity. You may feel depressed, you may feel lost, and you may feel confused, but that's okay, because that is the spiral of life. As we grow up, we discard old memories to create new ones. Whether we are going to college, entering the workforce, joining the military, or even taking a gap year, we will gain more experience that will change our view of the world in which we live in today. Many things about life may change, but Libertyville is different. As we all change our memories, Libertyville will never change. When graduation is nothing but a blink of the past, this will be the school to remember, where the walls of our Nautilus will never close. This will be the school to remember that acceptance is key, that no matter what your background is, you will always be a Wildcat. No matter what you are doing or where you are in the world, Libertyville will always be your home, as it will for me. Everyone's outer Nautilus shell is different. While many of us dream to become different things throughout life, there is one thing that we all have in common: Libertyville High School. While all of us are leaving to create a brighter future, we will always stand together as a giant family. As the spiral of life gets bigger, the walls of Libertyville will always be open for us to visit and remember the memories we once lived as a Wildcat. All 4 years in the making, Libertyville will be the most treasured memory in my own Nautilus shell. I wish you all luck in creating your own Nautilus identity. Thank you. It is now my pleasure to introduce Dr. Tom Colentes, principal of Libertyville High School.
Hello. Class of 2018, as I look out at you all, I see so many strengths and skills, and I am genuinely impressed and inspired by you. The success of our high school rests largely upon the shoulders of the senior class, and your efforts, your school spirit, and your service helped make this a wonderful school year. Now, we could tell good stories about each of you, and I'm truly sorry that we don't have time to do that tonight. But let's keep the impressive collective talents of the whole in mind as we now recognize those with exemplary academic achievement. National Honor Society members, please stand. Thank you for your scholarship, your leadership, and your service. You may be seated. The Honor Society kids are very obedient. Next, we recognize our honor grads. These students have achieved a GPA of a 4.0 or better based on their 7-semester grades. Honor grads, please stand. Thank you for your outstanding leadership and in the classroom. You may be seated. Next, we recognize seniors who are wearing a red, white, and blue tassel because they have chosen to serve the United States by enlisting in the branches of the military after graduation. I speak for our entire school community when I thank you for choosing this noble path. Please stand when I call your names. Jessica Fu, Massachusetts Maritime Academy, Navy, ROTC. And Philip Nauman, Berkeley College of Music, Army, ROTC. I would also like to take a moment for our community to sincerely extend our gratitude to all of our parents and guardians and family members who are here tonight who are on active military duty. If you are here with us, please stand so you can be recognized. Thank you for your service. Speaking of service, next we recognize our Link Crew leaders. These students give up the cherished senior lunch in order to help our freshman Wildcats transition to high school. Link Crew leaders, please stand and be recognized. Thank you for your service to our school. Now, graduation not only marks the end of high school for our seniors, but additionally, it symbolizes a new stage of life for our retiring teachers. As a community, I ask us to recognize 3 dedicated individuals whom have given so much of their professional lives to Libertyville High School. They will be deeply missed. Ms. Nancy Stevens, counselor. Ms. Jody McPhillips, school librarian. And Ms. Carolyn Kasel, French teacher. Thank you very much. All right, seniors. Shortly, I will present you to the Board of Education to receive your diplomas. And if they don't reject it, you'll graduate. Now, before I do this, however, I would like to take a few moments to thank you all for all you've done throughout your 4 years of high school. I would especially like to thank you for how you've welcomed me to LHS and helped me learn how to become a Wildcat. I am so fond of you all. You treated me with great kindness and respect, and you made me feel quickly at home here at LHS. I am very sad to see you go. I'll always remember you because you're the first class of Wildcats that I graduated. But as Gandhi said, for us, there are no goodbyes, because you'll always be in my heart. You were not only an important class to me personally, but you were an important class to the history of LHS, as you were the seniors who represented us during our 100th anniversary. I'm so proud of the way you welcomed back alumni and visitors during our centennial celebrations. Coach Eggert has been at LHS since it opened in 1917, and he assured me you guys were the best seniors ever. I also have to thank you for teaching me 300 new ways to cuss and swear. I mean, who would have known that not getting a parking spot on campus would inspire such poetic genius? Finally, I want to thank Sharon Lee and Stephanie Luce for not telling your dads about all my mistakes this year. I promised them that I didn't tell them about all the times you were late to school or all the times you asked me to change your grades in Power School. We'll just keep that between, oh, sorry. Before you graduate, I'm supposed to share some last words of wisdom and advice. And when I thought about that, what came to mind was one of the games you played in your Link Crew on your very first day of high school. You might recall playing a game called Two Truths and a Lie. You know, you needed to guess which statements a person was telling you were true and which were lies. So since this is your last day of high school, I figured we might as well play that game again. Although this time, I'll leave the guesswork out of it for you. The first truth that I want to share with you was stated by Anne Frank when she wrote that no one has ever become poor by giving. Through a materialistic lens, some might think she is wrong, but I promise you, her words are true. When you reach out and help others, you benefit. When you share your resources, time, and talents, you emerge richer. Your body and spirit need to help others. You need to contribute to the good of society, for your future intertwines with those of all others. As you age, trust me, if you think primarily of yourself, your world is likely to become narrow and shallow. And while I urge you all to strive for success, please don't focus only on the getting and the taking. A get as much as you can approach to life has a habit of boomeranging and creating unhappiness and fear. Now, over these past 4 years, we tried to deepen your understanding of the countless ways in which you contribute so much. You demonstrated to us that you're a group of students who genuinely care about your world. You raised thousands of dollars for WISH and UNICEF and Caring for Cambodia. You spent hours upon hours volunteering at Feed My Starving Children and Lamb's Farm. You took assertive actions to combat human slavery and to end the use of the R word. And most importantly, like Chase and Madden said, you stood steadfast in your commitment that hate will have no home at LHS. The second truth I want to share with you comes from Confucius. He observed, "The person who moves a mountain begins by carrying away small stones." Now, over 2,500 years ago, this philosopher encouraged people to persevere at daunting personal goals. And he uses the image of moving a mountain to evoke how overwhelmed a person can feel with a huge challenge. Now, a lot of you might think that the most successful people in life have a lot of luck, and they have a really smooth road to success, and that they never encounter difficulty or hardship or failure. But these illusions can be dangerous, because the truth is, when you leave here tonight, no matter who you are, the one thing that is guaranteed to bring you in life is hardship and obstacles. Everyone I know in my life has met mountains that they want to move. These are the trials and tribulations of life that test us all. All right, now listen, I don't want to bum you out by telling you life's going to bring you problems, okay? So there's good news here. Perseverance and grit, or the ability to endure through hardship, that is the one and only universal trait that researchers have found in all successful people. It's not brains, it's not talents, it's not wealth or personality, or in my case, good looks. No. Instead, it's grit, perseverance, and resolve. Now, nobody's born with this, though everybody can develop it, but not everybody does. You have to choose to persevere, and then you have to choose it again, and then again, and again. And when you're tired and life has beaten you down and drained you of both hope and energy, you must choose it again. That's how you get gritty. That's how you persevere. There are no shortcuts to developing your own inner strength. As Wildcats, I hope you can feel perseverance establishing some roots within your mind and spirit. All right, we've heard the two truths. Now let's hear the lie. We all hear fearmongers rant that American youth like you are lazy, self-absorbed, and too busy playing Fortnite to be concerned with injustice or other social issues. These doomsdayers assert that our best days as a nation are behind us, and that other countries have teens smarter than you and much more inclined to be successful. Class of 2018, you belie those negative words. You are filled with intelligence, high levels of motivation, and responsiveness to challenges, and you give our entire community pride, optimism, and hope. From record-breaking ACT and AP scores to pouring your hearts and souls into athletics and the arts, you excel. With organizational abilities, drive, and thoughtfulness, you embrace your responsibility to use your talents and blessings to make this life better for all of us. Dr. Lee and Vice President of the Board, Mr. Luce, Before you are 510 true Wildcats in academics, in sports and arts, as well as in service and spirit. It is with great pleasure I present to you Libertyville's graduation class of 2018. Seniors, please stand. Seniors, go back. Go back, go back. Too early, too early. Too early. Diplomas revoked. You failed the final. Sorry, first row. First, I would like to bring up our incredible Superintendent of Schools and Libertyville parent, Dr. Prentice Lee.
Dr. Kalenta said, I may say, you may be seated. Well, good evening. I'm honored to be the superintendent at what I believe is the best high school district in the United States, Community High School District 128. On behalf of the entire District 128 family, I want to express my sincere congratulations to all Libertyville High School students who comprise the outstanding class of 2018. Commencement is a very special time of year at District 128 because it is the culmination, recognition, and validation of 4 years of student commitment, dedication, and discipline in meeting our rigorous graduation requirements. And commencement is also a time to reflect back on your many individual and team achievements and accomplishments in academics, the fine arts, athletics, activities, and community service during your 4 years at LHS. As a superintendent and the very proud father of an LHS graduating senior, I have had the distinct pleasure and honor to watch you learn, grow, and add to the 100-year legacy of excellence at Libertyville High School over the past 4 years. And class of 2018, quite simply, I am in absolute and total awe of you. You have made a real difference at LHS, in the communities that we serve, and in many cases also at the state and national levels. It is really special for me to participate in your commencement ceremony tonight. LHS graduates, you are surrounded tonight by the village that literally raised the child. Following a tradition started by former District 128 Superintendent, Dr. David Clough, a number of years ago, I would like you to take a moment to join me in celebrating the very special family members and friends who are in attendance this evening. So first, will all the parents and guardians of the graduates please stand and remain standing? Parents, please stand. And remain standing. Next, will all the grandparents who are able please stand? Now, will the entire faculty in attendance tonight stand? And finally, will all other relatives, friends, neighbors, and community members please stand as well? Everybody stand. Graduates, let's give them a big round of applause. Thank you. You may be seated. You know, that's our version of the 7th inning stretch, by the way. Class of 2018, as we celebrate your accomplishments this evening, I hope that you feel surrounded by the spirit of goodwill from those who are gathered here to celebrate your commencement. Again, on behalf of the District 128 family, congratulations on your graduation. I know that you will continue to embody and represent the daring mission of District 128 in the years to come. A dreamer and doer, aware, resilient and healthy, inquisitive and nimble and global. Go get 'em. Thank you very much. Now it is my great pleasure to introduce the members of the Board of Education in attendance this evening. Our District 128 School Board is seated on the stage and will participate in the distribution of diplomas. Board members, please stand as I call your name, and audience, please hold your applause until all the board members are introduced. First, Jim Batson, Board Vice President. Jim, would you stand, please? Scott Luce, Board Member. And Mackenzie Thurman, Board Member. How about a round of applause for our board members? You may be seated. And I would also like to take a moment tonight to recognize Lola Akinati, Zach Ford, and Madison Kerber, who served as the LHS Student School Board representatives this year. Lola, Zach, and Madison represented and served you, the graduates, in the Board of Education with distinction this year. So Lola, Zach, and Madison, please stand and be recognized. You may be seated. Now it gives me great pleasure to introduce Mr. Scott Luce, District 128 Board Member, who will address the class of 2018. Scott?
Thank you, Dr. Lee. Thank you, Dr. Klenis. Good evening, students, parents, and friends. It's a pleasure and an honor to represent my fellow school board members here at this very special occasion. Tonight has a very special meaning to me, as I'm a very proud parent of a graduating senior, and I'm also a graduate of Libertyville High School. As I stand before you tonight, I am honored to soon welcome the class of 2018 as fellow alumni. Graduates, life is a continuous journey, and your graduation represents just one of many important milestones along the way. Tonight represents the closing of one chapter and the beginning of another. As you all reflect upon your high school experiences, you're going to think about your friends, your teachers, your classes, your activities, and your numerous accomplishments. Take pride in knowing that you demonstrated excellence at the highest level in the state of Illinois. Excellence in all aspects of school achievement, including academics, fine arts, and athletics. Your accomplishments aren't just about the what you have done, but how you have achieved them. You've represented your school, community, and family extremely well through your time at Libertyville High School. In addition, remember you received a lot of help along the way. You've had excellent teachers and administrators who consistently worked with you and challenged you all to be your best. And of course, and certainly not least, you wouldn't be here without the love and support you've received at home and from your family and friends. This is a proud evening for everybody. Graduates, your class has a very special place in LHS history. You had the unique privilege of being the graduating class that celebrated Libertyville High School centennial. Throughout our celebration, you learned about Libertyville High School's long and storied past. Most importantly, you learned about the legacy of thousands of graduates who made significant contributions beyond their high school years. Now it's your turn to add to that legacy as LHS begins its second 100 years. While it's important to relish in your high school accomplishments, it's now time to focus on what is possible in the next chapter of your life. There is an entire story left to be written, and you are the author. Your journey is left to your imagination, your desire, and your determination. Recently, our school district introduced a new mission statement, which centers around the idea of developing daring graduates. I believe that the class of 2018 represents this mission well. As you begin your next chapter, I encourage you to be dreamers, to be doers, to stay aware, to be resilient, to stay healthy, to be inquisitive and nimble, and to think globally. Some of you may have a clear idea of what you want to do. Others may not be so sure, and that's okay. Regardless, I encourage you to be daring and have a strong appetite to continuously learn. Be explorers in the world in which we live. We truly live in a global society, and you will be able to experience people and cultures that many of your parents and most of your grandparents never had the opportunity to encounter. The world today is certainly not perfect, and there are challenges we are all faced with. But with challenges come opportunities to make things better. You are now equipped with knowledge, wisdom, passion, grit to truly make a difference. I'm extremely envious of what is ahead for you. Grab it and take advantage of what the future has to offer. It's now up to each of you to use your gifts and experiences. Each of your paths going forward will be unique and independent of each other. The one thing that you will share in common is that each of you will forever be known as a Libertyville Wildcat. The colors of orange and black will always have a special meaning of who you are and where you came from. Don't take that for granted. After you receive your diploma this evening, you will represent yourself, you will represent your families and friends, and now you will wear a new badge of honor. That badge of honor is that you will now be a Libertyville High School alum, which means you represent the legacy of this school. On behalf of the Board of Education, I want to congratulate you and wish you all the best. I am honored to accept the Libertyville High School class of 2018 for commencement. Thank you.
All right, first row. Now, it is with great honor and pride that we present you to the District 128 Board of Education to graduate the class of 2018. Will the honor guards please take their positions? As a reminder to our audience, each name tonight is singularly important and worthy of being heard. Please refrain from applause or from shouting out until we have read each and every name. Also, please refrain or please remember not to approach the stage to take pictures. We have grad images here who will be taking professional quality pictures of all of the graduates. I would like to call our readers, Mrs. Jenny Getch and Dr. Paul Reif, to their respective podiums. At this time, first row, please rise. And let's start our graduation.
Max Gregory Abderholden.
Priyana Manish
Acharya.
Jackson Ryan Adams.
Emily Erin Agamora.
Lola Moranaka Akinlade.
Alexander E. Axlin.
Anton Rentuze Alesna.
Brandon Miles Allen.
Christopher James Allen.
Nicholas A. Angel.
Benjamin Brackens Arnold.
Grace Ann Arthur.
Grant Michael Bear.
Angie Rose Pajapud Bakiran.
Vittorio Marino Baragazzi.
Josephine Boy Fung Barnaby.
Madeline Rose Bartish.
Morgan Elizabeth Bassich.
Sydney Ann Harms Bauer.
Francesca Amy Quinnen.
Brendan Douglas Bazar.
Colin Patrick Beatty.
Austin John Becker.
Emily Grace Benish.
William Auburn Bennett.
John Matthew Benoit.
Nicholas Jonathan Birkland.
William Francois Berteau.
Mary Eileen Bertini.
Charlotte Grace Bettridge.
Vincent George Bittner.
Charles Sean Bloom.
Lace Sangiolani Boa.
Evan Joseph Betcher.
Jasmine Bogoyevich.
Julian Zhongwei Buck.
Grace Elizabeth Bonamart.
Scott Raymond Bonebreak.
Erin Kathleen Borsha.
Franklin Edward Bory.
Bryce David Boyer.
Dylan James Boyle.
Martin Bradley Branneman.
Holly Elizabeth Brown.
Bryce Andrew Brown Morris.
Mary Catherine Bookert.
Colleen Ann Burke.
Anna Madison Burns.
Nico Salvatore Calesi.
Michael Philip Campo.
Aiden Philip Carl.
Trinity Alex Carlisle.
Jenna Marie Carnizola.
John Michael Carrington Smith.
Margaret Emily Casey.
Michael Alexander Chamon.
Maxwell Joseph Chan.
Haley Marie Chandler.
Lauren Elizabeth Chapman.
Nathan Frederick Charles.
Aaron Wang Chen.
Tanner Thomas Chester.
Yoon Min Cho.
Amit Chowdhury.
Kaylee Ann Christensen.
Justin Cassidy Chung.
Mia Lynn Clark.
Patrick Ryan Conway.
Brendan David Cook.
Liam James Cooney.
John Stafford Copeland.
Matthew Kyle Cortina.
Forrester Capitoy Cotterman.
Sean Michael Coughlin.
David Nash Krieger.
Jackson Francis Chicka.
Hannah Luz Dagginson.
Brylan Janae Dawson.
Jake Andrew DeBruler.
William Jeremiah DeBruler.
Morgan Amelia DeGregor.
Mark Joseph Demery.
Anna Victoria DiMartini.
Eliza McKinley Dembinski.
Olivia Johnson Devon.
James Thomas Dittmeyer.
Alexander Richard Dekelski.
Jacob Irving Dekelski.
Brooke Margaret DeLulo.
Ariana Raquel Dismer.
Sarah Lucille Distenfield.
Alec Matthew Doctor.
Alexa Michelle Donato.
John Horace Dre.
Tara Alyssa D'Souza.
Rachel Elizabeth Dudley.
Alexander Ilya Dupor.
John Patrick Durning.
Alexander Joseph DeRozinski.
Jamie Andres Eastman.
Jason Wayne Edmonds.
Jared Quinlan Edwards.
Luke Icavoni Ekdal.
Kyle Chase Erlinson.
Trevor Donnell Evans.
Chase Bingham Eyre.
Megan Susan Fahey.
Leanne Chen Fang.
Colin Peter Feldman.
Alexander Vance Ferreira.
Colin Charles Fields.
Dominic John Fiore.
Claudia Rose Fiorenza.
Olivia Faye Fiorenza.
Madeline Ann Fisher.
Nicole Lynn Flamank.
Brian Michael Flanagan.
Michael Joseph Flanagan.
Elizabeth Darlene Foley.
Zachary Daniel Ford.
Dylan Michael Foster.
Timothy Joseph Franz.
Matthew Ryan Friel.
Allison Lynn Friello.
Jessica Ying Fu.
Brendan Miller Gallagher.
Elizabeth Jordan Garcia.
Suzette Garcia Stam.
William Beckley Gantos.
Jordan Haley Janetti.
Demi Marie Glusick.
Molly Ann Goebel.
Ethan Tracy Gobler.
Meredith Lillian Golden.
Emma Marie Gorman.
Riley Patrick Gowans.
Michael Waylon Graham.
Jenna Nicole Grayson.
Ryan Daniel Greenberg.
Olivia Caroline Griffith.
Joshua Aaron Grosskopf.
Jonathan Gunawan.
Aiden Patrick Hackett.
Nicole Dorothy Hatterline.
Emily Jane Hamilton.
Trevor James Hansen.
William Grayson Hare.
Michael William Harger.
Nicholas Ryan Harrington.
Elena Christine Hart.
Leah Catherine Hartung.
Nicholas James Harvey.
Cormac John Haverty Dennis.
Colin Larson Hawkinson.
Ian Patrick Dusudi Hebert.
Jared Michael Headland. Lauren Catherine Harity.
Madden Herberger.
Luke Ryan Herr.
Kenneth Joseph Herman.
Ethan Tice Hertzler.
Liam Benjamin Hettinger.
Alexandria Marie Hibbard Brown.
Jack Thomas Higgins.
Emily Nicole Hilldale.
Riley James Hoff.
Haley Jade Holson.
Laura Rose Holzer.
Micah Seth Holsworth.
Bridget Marie Horvath.
Veronica Haley Hooley.
Claire Elizabeth Holt.
Sarah Jane Hoyer.
Christina Hu.
Alice Linnea Hubbard.
John Thomas Hugdahl.
Abigail Ann Humbert.
Hannah Elizabeth Hutchins.
Alexander John Jackson.
Colin Joseph Janis.
Tyler Joseph Janis.
Timothy James Jean.
Eric Logan Jenner. Benjamin David John.
Avril Anissa Johnson.
Gavin Richard Johnson.
Maxwell Cabot Johnson.
Conrad Daniel Jonas.
Derek Babu Joseph.
Aaron Florence Joyce.
Hussein Ali Kanji.
Kendrick Jorge Gerald Castillo Canoon.
Daniel Joseph Caputa.
Ryan Matthew Cates.
Michelle Trinity Kata.
Manit Kashal.
Lauren Cavathis.
Sarah Elizabeth Keating.
Maeve Catherine Kell.
Nicole Renee Kelly.
Grace Caroline Kennedy.
Mitchell James Kenston.
Hannah Lacey Kenzer.
Madison Patricia Kerber.
Mallory Brennan Kimpler.
Brian Kenneth Klimek.
Kylie Corrine Closer.
Sasha Kristen Canuti.
Maxwell Graham Cook.
Riley Graham Konigsetter.
Emma Margaret Kozowski.
Emma Kimberly Kraft.
Max Hendrickson Kratkowski.
Alexa Leela Kriegbaum.
Gregory Jirai Krikorkian.
Caitlin Rose Kubalanza.
Jed Daniel Kuhn. Catherine Colleen Laprade.
Alyssa Catherine Leroy.
Chloe Alexis Latka.
Madeline Lynn Lowy.
Margot Page Lawless.
Shayryn Lee.
George William Legan.
Saren Elizabeth Lenners.
Joshua Ryan Lewis.
Matthew Philip Lieber.
Joshua David Lilja.
Casey Lindsay.
Richard Thomas Lynn.
Kelly Leah Litwitz.
Elizabeth Yadi Liu.
Sophia Laura Lofredo.
Julia Elizabeth Long.
Shannon Arlene Long.
Mary Grace Ledspike.
Ainsley Bryn Lounsbury.
Alex Viet Liu.
Stephanie Bryn Luce.
Xavier Francis Lumpui.
Kathleen Lynn Lund.
Ditero L. Maga.
Annalisa Ruth McHale.
Carl Dougal McPherson.
William Michael McGill.
Dylan Julian Maldonado.
Grayson Samuel Manchik.
Melissa Toms Manich.
Audrey Maria Manfredini.
Mason Philip Maniloff.
Kathleen Ann Manley.
Sarah Elizabeth Mansfield.
Morgan Taylor Mansky.
Anna Grace Margaritas.
William Joseph Marinas.
Stephanie Ann Marcos.
Hayden Mary Marth.
Benjamin Lasser Martin.
Christopher Joshua Martin.
Dushan Antonio Martinoff.
Sarah Elizabeth Matthew.
Caitlin Ashley Matthew.
Grace Catherine Mazurik.
Samantha Nicole McCarthy.
Cole Jeffrey McClurg.
Julia Jane McGormley.
John Patrick McGuan.
Madeline Nicole McInerney. Brian Scott McLinden.
Aditi Mera.
Carl James Michelati.
John Michael Militante.
Colin Barker Miller.
Hannah Renee Miller.
Claire Elizabeth Mills.
Lucas Ferguson Minor.
Julia Elise Mollenhauer.
Nicholas Eric Montag.
Yvonne Chantel Montano.
Allison Jean Moratini,
Charles Dennis Morris,
Maxwell Thomas Moulton,
Edward Robert Brooksbank Moy,
Victoria Francis Moy,
Ryan Eric Muller,
Catherine Victoria Mulligan,
Griffin Robert Murphy,
Margaret Marie Musso,
Alana Aisha Nafsker,
Ian Joseph Nagel,
Kieran Nair,
Philip G. Suck Nauman,
Danielle Veronique Navarro,
Sean Patrick Neal,
William Charles Neeson,
Ramon Jose Niera,
Brian James Nelson,
Christina Renee Nelson, Jillian Landa Ness,
Claire Elizabeth Newberger,
Allison Elaine Newman,
Nicholas Scott Newman,
Ariana Yesenia Nevarez,
Alex Walter Neiman,
Cameron Anthony Nissen,
Ricardo Emmanuel Norman,
Madison Riley O'Brien,
Jenna Nicole Ockeltree,
Daniel William O'Hara,
Michaela Marie Olson,
Matthew David Olson,
William Christopher O'Malley,
Emery Grace Orlando,
Jack Nathaniel Otto,
Nathan Matthew Pachowski,
Tyler Joseph Padilla,
Savannah Rose Pacasta,
Nicholas Alejandro Palacios,
Christopher John Palmer,
Matthew David Paluga,
Robert James Paperniak,
Bryce Stephen Parker,
Rutwick S. Patel,
Noah Forbes Pant,
Sophia Nicole Pearson,
William Michael Perkins,
Joseph Robert Peroni,
Drew Bryce Peterson,
Caroline Rose Fagan,
Julia Marie Piketty,
Amanda Lee Pignon,
Savannah May Pivovarchek,
Lucas John Plunkett,
William Frederick Powers III,
Laura Margaret Presley,
Jacob Douglas Perliman,
Sava Prodanovich,
Andrew Edward Quain, Brian Michael Quist,
Manikandan Raja,
Suraj Rajendran,
Lauren Rose Randolph,
Matthew Thomas Rankin,
Joseph David Recker,
Emily Galley Regan,
Eileen Ann Rice,
Daniel Patrick Richardson,
John Bradley Richardson,
Sophie Claire Richardson.
Gavin Michael Ridgel.
Sarah Catherine Reamer.
Thomas Martin Regali.
Mary Caitlin Rill.
Anna Grace Risley.
Kyra Ann Ritchie.
Dakota Rose Rixey.
Colby Lee Roberts.
Jacob Graham Roberts.
Parker Christian Roberts.
Emilia Rodriguez.
Kylie Reese Rodriguez.
Richard Kessler Rogers.
Margaret Sarah Rogan.
Catherine Grace Rolick.
Emily Bay Roller.
Erin Elizabeth Rooney.
Ian Lev Rosenrich.
Lauren Elizabeth Rosa.
Taylor Antonia Rossi.
Jacob Arnold Rudolphi.
Matthew Chase Rodolphi.
Tori Lynn Rezer.
Jory Marie Ryan.
Nathan Sanderson.
Caitlin Marie Sarton.
Caroline Elizabeth Schaefer.
Carter Jeffrey Schaffnit.
Grace Elizabeth Schomburger.
Bulat Zufar Shamiola.
Sarah Nicole Scheibler.
Jonathan Lucas Schlapper.
Matthew Wayne Schlapper.
Charles Russell Schmidt.
Kurt Stewart Schneider.
Christopher Shuck.
Jacob Stephen Schuster.
Hunter Thomas Schweiger.
Marco Joseph Scopacasa.
John Wendell Scott.
Natalie Marie Seitz.
Dylan Kumar Seth.
Wesley Henry Sharon.
William Connor Shin.
Margaret Elizabeth Schutz.
Yumna Siddiqui.
Thomas Mather Siegel.
Jenna Lee Silverman.
Brandon Jeffrey Simberg.
Christina Marie Simley.
Rennie Richard Singapore.
Alexandra Siskovich.
Joshua Oliver Smithy.
Thomas David Smithy.
Paul Frederick Summer.
Alexander James Sorensen.
Allison Marie Southwick.
Adam Nathan Sparks.
Andrew James Spence.
Natalie Spillman.
Chad Stephen Spinoza.
Eve Helene Spinoza.
Catherine Emma Stanky.
Alexander Roger Stanulis.
Alexandra Maria Stavrakos.
Amy Elizabeth Steno.
Jocelyn E.J. Stevenson.
Jack Thomas Stevens.
Austin Lee Stevenson.
Emma Gabrielle Stevenson.
Emily Rose Stone.
Kathleen Elizabeth Storres.
Samuel John Stortz.
Vanessa Kristiva Stoynova.
Christina Marie Strample.
Charisma Alicia Straughter.
Albert Charles Sue.
Song Hyun Suk.
Malcolm Joseph Sullivan.
Benjamin Wallace Suter.
Spencer David Sweeney.
Nathaniel Joseph Schweitzer.
Gina Marie Sylvester.
Cameron Julius Zabo.
Riza Anjali Bakiran Talosig.
Alexander Ryan Tam.
Patrick Joseph Tansky.
Lauren Nicole Tarman.
Matthew Stephen Templeton.
Maria LaRue Thames.
Rachel Elise Thomas.
Alexander Paul Thompson.
Christopher James Thompson.
Luke Michael Thunga.
Emily Catherine Tiffany.
Miriam Tolba.
Olivia Josentina Tomasetti.
Zai Eyre Tompkins.
Allison Young Tong.
Sarah Gabriella Tui.
Sarah Jane Townsend.
Arush Tripathi.
Nora Elizabeth Tucker.
Felisa Jane Amadhai.
Annalise Marie Valenti.
Nathan James Valley.
Jillian Nicole Vang.
Spencer Dean Vang.
Mackenzie Emily Vanyek.
Anthony Marco Venturi.
Morgan Ann Verbaden.
Kevin Michael Villanueva.
Maria Del Mar Villanueva Guzman.
Tess Ann Van Ruden.
Peter Joseph Wachnick.
Claire Nicole Wagner.
Kyle Mizuki Wallace.
Grace Catherine Walsh.
Hannah May Walsh.
Louis Wang.
Tyler Tian Wang.
Dewa Wardak.
Samuel Taylor Waring.
Alexandra Marie Weaver.
Emma Rose Weger.
Elise Kathleen Wigline.
Luke Richard Weiland.
Rachel Lynn Weiss.
Joseph William Welch.
Matthew Dexter Weldon.
Matthew William Welsh.
Kristen Ann Wenner.
Ian David Vetlaffer.
Michael John Wilms.
Colin Joseph Wilson. Ryan David Winiger.
Ryan Joseph Wittenbrink.
John Patrick Woshinski.
Megan Rose Wolter.
Hannah Jing Wang.
Michael Henry Wu.
McKenna Christine Yor.
John Thomas Urick.
Caitlin Marie Zabadal.
Madison Sunja Zengel.
Monica Grace Zibroya.
Laura Yihan Zeng.
Stacy Margaret Zhang.
Zachary John Zerwas.
Leo Leclerc Zambolo.
Members of the class of 2018, please stand. Graduates, at this time, please move your tassel from right to left. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you the graduates of the class of 2018.